Love it. Again, my name is Mark Anthony. Yes, the one and only. Today I got good news and bad news, and I don't know if I should start with the good news or the bad. Let's start with the bad because I wanna get into the at the end. I wanna give this a better ending. And I just check in to make sure everything's okay. I got my pencil, I got everything. Okay. Let's talk about Generation Z. This podcast is called Two Generation, Two Opinion. It was supposed to be Generation Z with me, sitting right here. Or here. But there's a problem with Generation Z. Generation Z, they tend to think that life is easy. They don't want to go to school. They don't want to not even finish high school. Especially the boys in Generation Z. You go out there to any given college. And you will see more girls from Generation Z, Gen Z, than boys. Because boys, they think that they're going to be famous because they're in TikTok. They in YouTube. They want to be rappers. They want to be singers. Without going to school, without getting a degree, because you gotta have a backup plan. Generation Z. Let's get this straight together. Like I was telling my Gen Z that he was supposed to be here. I haven't seen him for weeks. I understand that. You could be whatever you want to be, just like in the army. Be what you want to be. Okay? But you gotta learn something. If you think that you're gonna be in your bed at 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon just to hang out at night, just to smoke marijuana, do whatever you want to do, that's your problem. That's Gen Z. That's their problem. But don't think that you're going to become famous or you're going to be successful in life because you don't want to get out of your comfort zone. You're wrong. There's no way that you're going to be successful just staying in bed. And this is something I have talked about it so many times in different podcasts, in person. And I have met people from all generation. From all type of walk of life. Poor people, rich people, millionaires, billionaires. Trust me, billionaires. Millionaires. And make that. I know. So let's talk about again to Gen Z. Because I know a Gen Z that her parents are millionaires. Filthy millionaires. And she works in Publix as a bagger. You know what's that called? Responsibility. I know another millionaire. I was with his family, his one boy and his girl, and then I asked him why they haven't used the beach condo. Oh my! I haven't been down there because now we got limited time because the kids they're working on weekends. Wow. And these people got everything. These people take 1 week vacation to Alaska, to ski to Colorado. These people, they could do whatever they want to do. They got the money. And they got the kids. They got their kids working part-time. And then I was talking to the father, and he told me about, you got to teach them responsibility. Because if you're 21 or 22 or 23 and you don't got responsibility, you know what's the worst part of it? Sometimes the same guys, kids from Gen Z, they just want to be out there fucking bitches. And then they're getting pregnant. Then you see all this. I have seen Gen Z girls with 1 and 2 babies. depending on food stamp, on government subsidies and help. Because you know why? Because the Gen Z boys, they're not going to take care of the kids. No, they want to be with that girl and go to bed with her. She got pregnant. I don't got to do nothing with it. Let me stay down in mommy's. But how stupid a Gen Z girl gonna allow a Gen Z boy without no future just lies about, I'm gonna be famous, I'm gonna be famous, I'm gonna be famous, I'm gonna be famous. The wolf is coming. We don't need no. Well, that's another song. So it's sad. Because sometimes you're trying to take this Generation Z, you're trying to give them opportunity, and they don't see that. They don't see the opportunity you as a person, as an adult, it's giving them, taking your time to teach them how to do things. Because then in the future, just like I was saying something to a friend of mine, I got all this equipment here, thousands and thousands of dollars of equipment. The day I die, it's going to go on donation. Because there's nobody that's going to continue what I'm doing, what I like. Not even my kids. They're no graphic designer. They don't like podcasts. They don't know how to talk in front of a microphone. So then you're trying to take somebody to teach them, and they don't care. They don't give a fuck. They don't care. And then I remember once I put in social media, because I helped this person. That person didn't give a damn. And I gave up on them. And then somebody wrote to me, why are you giving up on them? You should be a sample. No. You cannot drain your energy trying to get somebody to learn something on your time that you're not getting paid for, so they could be successful. So they could do something in life. So they could become a role model for new generation, for that generation alpha that's after Gen Z. But you know what? Gen Z generation, they don't care. They think life is easy. They think that life is you do like that and you get whatever. Oh, you go to church, you do like this. Oh, I want to be famous. Okay, go ahead, do that. By the way, at the same time, pray for those kids that are dying in the war, Gaza. So Gen Z, for me, Generation Gen Z, this is going to be the last chapter. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not going to have that Gen Z next to me. Maybe I'll give up a shout out to a couple Gen Z that I know that they're doing the right thing. But just think about it. 10 years from now, if you see the news, you're going to see that the one that are killing out there are Gen Z young kids. Yeah, they want to be in the drug business. They want to have the $200 or $900 sneakers, but they don't want to work. They want to sell dope and make money selling dope. Congratulations. I hope you sell a lot of dope, but you're not going to get nowhere. Oh yeah, you will. 7 feet down or in jail. You spend the rest of your life in jail behind bars. No bueno. So, for me, this is my opinion. One generation, one opinion. Not two generation, two opinion. This is my opinion. I don't care if you like it or not. By the way, my name is Mark Anthony, right there. Mark Anthony, remember, I'm not scared of nothing. I have lived so long that I don't give a shit about people think. If you're wrong, you're wrong. If you think, if you think that everything is easy in life, I don't care you're missing your mom, your grandma, your father, your daughter. I mean, people die. My mother died 30 years ago. 30 years ago. And I thought it will be the end of the world. 30 years now, down the line, look at me. I said, I gotta keep going. I gotta keep on working. I work for 14 hours a day. Sometimes I'll be on the road for 3 and 4 in 1 week. That's why maybe you don't see a lot of podcasts, but you're gonna see them, because I'm not gonna wait for nobody. You don't wait for nobody. You're not a tree. No, you gotta do stuff in life. You try it, doesn't work, let's go for another one. You keep on trying. I went to this PGA golf tournament down here, the Bypass Championship. There was a big sign. We had a tent. Yeah, I was in the VIP area with a tent with billionaires having cocktails and everything. And this came up. Just read it. A winner is a loser that kept on trying. Wow. Losers, you could become a winner, but you gotta keep on trying. Don't give up. You know what I mean? Don't give up. I don't care if you're running a marathon and you see the guy pass you, you're in the first place, and you see a guy pass you don't stop. You keep on going. Maybe you get second place, or maybe you pick it up down the line and you become a first place again. Don't give up. People that give up, they losers. I mean, they lifelong losers that they give up. I haven't given up. Oh man, if I tell you everything I've been through since I was a kid, people will say, just like my lawyer told me once, rest in peace. Wow. You're a piece of carbon that's going to become a diamond. And he was not lying. Don't give up. I don't care what you're going through. Just get the fuck out of that comfort zone. Get away from that comfort zone. Get away. But it's just like, okay, somebody told me once, yeah, Mark, bro, I smoke weed, but you drink wine. Yeah, you're right. But I could be 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month, 2 months, 1 year without drinking wine. Because I know my limits. Because I don't spend all my time drinking wine. I work. Oh, yeah. That you're going to use as an excuse? Oh, I drink or I smoke weed because, I got a lot of problems. Who don't got problems? You know something? Millionaires and billionaires, they got problems too. Trust me. Maybe they don't got money problems because they got other problems. Trust me. I know what I'm telling you. I've been there. I've been there. So let's wrap this up with the last chapter of Gen Z. I'm disappointed. I'm real disappointed because I thought that doing this it was gonna be something that other Generation C or Generation X or Generation Y or Generation Alpha or Baby Boomer, they were gonna use it as a tool to learn from other people's mistakes, but it's not. It's not. Good luck. And I wish all Generation C the best in life. But if you cannot be the main actor in the movie of your life, and you got somebody else doing it for you, you're wrong. You are wrong. So, in my opinion, do an inventory of yourself in front of the mirror and ask yourself. I learned this back in the 80s. I remember when I went to this graduation. Do an inventory of yourself and ask yourself, do I got what I need? Or I got to let go a couple things to continue? Or I should give up, stop, roll, and die? There's no such thing of easy life. There's none. I don't care who you are. I don't care how much money you got. There's no such thing as easy life. Okay? So, remember, Gen Z. And everybody out there, boys and girls, Gen Z. Be yourself. Stop being the shadow of somebody else. Okay? And not because your best friend. There's no best friend in life. None. Not because your best friend smoke, drink, fuck around, rob a bank, steal cars. You got to do the same. You know how many times I told my friends no? Excuse me. A lot of people invited me to smoke weed. A lot of people invited me to do bad things. I said no. It was my decision. Nobody put a gun on me. You got to make your own choices. Because at the end, you're the only one going to pay for it. Nobody going to go down with you. Trust me. Nobody. Nobody going to go down with you. Remember, I've been there. I'm the OG. My name is Mark Anthony right there and right here. All around. You know? And I love it. I love what I do. Okay? You take care of yourself. And let's switch to good news. Let's forget about Gen Z and let's talk about generation. I mean, I had the privilege last week to meet. Well, let's go by part. I think I did back in maybe 6 years ago or less. I met this little old lady. She was 106. 106. So that's what we call the lost generation. The lost generation is the generation that comes between 1883 and 1900. That's called the lost generation. And I met that lady. I remember I sat down with her in her daughter's home. They invited me for dinner. I used to sell cars. So I met them because I sold them a car. So she invited me to, and I sat down with that lady and I spoke to her. And she gave me good advice, and she told me about life, the way growing up as a child, back in the 1800s, crossing the 1900. She crossed the 1900, and she crossed the 2000. That's amazing. Out there, anybody, I don't care who generation you are, Boomer, X, Y, Z, Alpha, if you know somebody that's 102, 103, 104, sit down with them, talk to them, and you will learn a lot. So maybe you don't know the different generation. I'm gonna bring it up after I finish, so you will see, understand what's generation, what the year. So last year I met Miss Doris, just like my sister. Shout out to my sister. Love you, love it. So I met Miss Doris through one of my businesses. And we were talking in the car. This lady is part of that the greatest generation. She was born. Now before I do when she was born. So we start at CVS. I'm happy about meeting her because 2 reasons. When we get to CVS, and I ask to the drive-through window, the girl in CVS asked me the date of birth. I said, it's not for me, it's for Miss Doris. And I asked Miss Doris, what's your date of birth? And she told me, quote, October 15, the day my mother was born, and the mother of my kids, October 15, Libra. And what year? 1924. I said, wow. I started crying. Miss Doris, you 99 and a half years. Holy cow. And we started talking. You know what's been born in 1924? 100 years ago? And this lady, sharp. We going down the highway, and she tell me we 2 exits away from my apartment. That's what she's telling me. Going to her doctor's appointment, she told me on the highway, you gotta be doing like 60 or 70. I said, no, I'm doing 60. How you know? Because I feel it. This is a 99 and a half little old lady. She has some hearing problem, but she could hear. And then she told me the assets, and I asked her, do you used to drive? I said, yeah, I lost I turned in my license 3 years ago because, I was getting dizzy. So she was driving all the way up to 96 years old. And she knows Tampa. Yeah, she lives in Tampa, in New Tampa. Okay? 1924. And I dare anybody, baby boomer, Gen X, Gen Y, Gen Z, or Alpha to meet somebody that's 100 years old. You got a family member that's 100 years old. Sit down with them. Because I learned a lot from this little old lady. I even cried. I even called my sister after I finished with her. And for me, it was the greatest time of my life. This lady is counting $150 in a $10 bill. And she's doing 1, 2, 3. No, she's doing 10, 20, 30, all the way to $150. That she gave me that tip, $150 tip. And I said, wow. Wow. When I finished with her, I gave her a hug. And for me, that was the greatest day of my life. Meeting somebody from the greatest generation. The greatest generation is from 1901 all the way to 1927. That's the greatest generation. If you don't know, so you could learn. Get off that comfort zone and learn. Google stuff. Read books. I read books. Learn about people. And you're going to be a better human being. It's not about going to freaking church. Be yourself. Learn. Learn how to respect people, don't care how old they are. They could be Alpha, they could be Gen Z, they could be Gen Y, Gen X, baby boomers. I don't care. Get along with people. Sit down with people and talk. I was in a party this weekend. They invited me for an Easter party. Nice, beautiful party. 100 people. They had food, they had drink like there was no tomorrow. All the generation was there. All of the generation was there. From generation, the greatest generation in the 1927, there was a lady that was 90-something years old, the grandma. So there was all generations. All the way down to Generation Alpha. And I spoke to everybody. And you'll be surprised what you learn. Even from somebody that's younger than you. So, the silent generation is the generation, like I said, from 1883 to 1900. Okay? Then, you got the greatest generation that was from 1901 to 1927. And that little lady told me about the war. She spoke about all the wars that she learned. Then you got the silent generation, right? That's the generation from 1928 to 1945. Okay? World War II started, blah, blah, blah. There was war, then comes the baby boomer generation from 1946, okay, to 1964. They call it baby boomer because after the World War II, all these servicemen, they were out there fighting for months and years. They come back home, and everything was a boom. Baby were popping like popcorn, and a big housing. They were building houses for all these veterans coming back from the war. Then after baby boomer from 1946 to 1964, you got the Generation X, Gen X. That's the generation from 1965 to 1980. Okay, then you got the next generation is the millennials, Generation Y. Yeah, the one from 1981 to 1996. Okay, all my kids are Generation Y. All of them, Generation Y. Then you got the Sooners or Generation Z. Generation Sooner and Generation Z are the one from 1997 to 2012. Okay? Then you got the new generation, Generation Alpha, that started in 2010 to the mid 2020s, right where we are right now. I mean, I'm gonna put that graph on the board so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, this is the board of the different generation. You see, this is the lost generation. It's in Spanish. I couldn't do it. I didn't find it in English. Okay, so this is the lost generation. 1883, 1900. Then you got the Great Generation, okay, from 1901 to 1927. Then you got the Silent Generation from 1928 to 1945. Then you got the Baby Boomers, 1946 to 1964. Then you got the Generation X, 1965 to 1980. Then you got Generation Y, okay, from 1981 to 1996. Generation Z, that's the generation that for me is the last chapter, is getting lost. It's the Sooner Generation C, 1997, 2012. And then you got the new generation Alpha that started in 2010. Okay? These are the different generations that I think you should learn from all of them. I have met all of the generation. I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, I got that privilege that I have meet all these people, because I mean, it is part of you growing up as a person to meet somebody for each generation and talk about anything with respect. You don't want to disrespect no generation. I don't care who you are. I don't care how much money you are, how famous you are. If you're a singer, you're a crackhead. I don't care. You gotta respect people. This is not a church thing. This is about respect. And you respect all your generations. You respect yourself. Okay? And I'm gonna give a shout out to Miss Doris. Okay? I mean, on her birthday, I'm gonna go visit her, because for me, being born in 1924 on October 15th, the same day my mother was born. My mother was born October 15, 1940. Okay? So when my mother was born, Miss Doris was 18 years old, maybe out of college. I mean, going to college, out of high school. Who knows? You know? And I think about it, that experience. If you haven't had an experience like that, to talk with, I mean, it's hard to find a greatest generation person out there. They out there. They're out there. When you meet them, you're gonna have the best time of your life. Okay? Remember, it's not about generation, because all these generation, they built what we are living now. Those generations that went to war, especially that generation that the silent generation that went to World War II, came back and they built our country. I don't care what country you live. Okay? Then you got the baby boomers that helped them too, and then Generation X. Okay? And now this generation, you know, I'm going to do a podcast, and this is going to be my next podcast. I want to talk about those business people, all those jobs out there that somebody got to continue them. But if we don't got Generation Z to go to school and study, there's not going to be people that are going to fill those positions. Just take a look at corporate America. Back in the days, it was hard to see a female CEO. Now, they popping. You know why? Because boys, man, they don't want to go to school. They don't want to study. They think they're going to be famous doing rappers. They're going to be in sports and stuff like that. Good. But it's your decision what you want to do with your life. Make sure nobody control your life. Make sure you make the correct decision for yourself. Make sure you do the right thing for yourself. Please yourself. Don't tell me, oh no, because my mother, because my daddy, because of this. No, because I miss this, I miss that. I cannot do it. You could do it. Get out of the comfort zone. Remember, this is me. This is my generation opinion. This is my opinion. Okay? And remember, my name is Mark Anthony. Bam! And I love it. See you in the next one. Bye.